Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. You already know from different videos on this channel this 2005 Toyota Tundra, which has approximately 180,000 miles on the clock. Today I'm performing valve cover gasket job on this vehicle, and I would like to show you few important details. So let's go look in the engine bay together and see one of the things you should not skip, right? So we are on the passenger side. The valve cover was replaced, cleaned and prepared for installation back. You can see here one of the important things. The gasket set comes with this spark plug tube seals. Do yourself a favor and never ever skip replacing those. It will be a huge mistake. This one, it's hard like a plastic. It should be rubbery and soft, and it's basically hard like a plastic or like a rock. They break into pieces when you start prying them out. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged that these seals are below this steel, right? These small areas are very easy to bend up, therefore creating space for pushing the seal out and installing a new ones. So that's one of the important things. I know sometimes people try to skip it, but then it will start leaking in the spark plug tubes, right? Look how rubbery it needs to be, soft, right? These ones are hard like a plastic. Another important thing is to pull the half moons. We discussed that together on the FIPG FE, which is right that popular 3.4 liter V6. I show it in the videos. What are the half moons? One of them is out already. Do you see that? I removed that one, and there is the other one. They better be also resealed, because otherwise, if you do the job without it, you can have in the future oil leaks from there, and you will be redoing entire job. I waited for you to show up here, right? So I pulled just one. And now I will try to hold a camcorder and show you how I pulled the first one. So you grab it right with the pliers and very carefully, I don't know, how can I get here? Very carefully, I'm pulling upwards, right? Don't want to damage anything. Did you see it? And the half moon, the remaining half moon, it's out. There are none in the front, it's on the back. Here you can see the remainings of that very small amount of sealer which was applied there previously. I will need to remove this, clean it and get it ready for install. So as I said, I need to remove first that remainings of the sealant which was there in the past. I'm using brush which will not damage this aluminum, right? We call it half moons, half plugs, maybe they also could be called if you're searching for that. And I believe this is ready for install. I did the same cleaning careful with the rag or the softest brush also in the engine. Most of you know, but I will repeat it for the newbies, right? You should use that Toyota seal packing, that FIPG, right? This is the best product I know personally. I learned it at the dealer when I worked there in past, and it never failed me. I never had to redo any jobs because this thing will fail. So you use only very little amount, because you don't want to put too much and then squeezing the rest of it inside of the engine, right? So very little. I can use my finger and smooth it out, right? So once again, boop, just put it there. Whatever I have extra, I will get rid of it. because you will be forcing it in, right? Now another trick or tip for you. If you pay attention to the details, and I know you do, and you actually take the time and read the manual for this, they clearly tell you the working time for proper function is relatively short. So another tip or trick of using this, right, installing these half moons, is this one. I'm just trying to show you how I'm putting it in. Normally I will use right hand, but that's holding the camcorder. So look, it's there, right? I pushed it down nicely, try to level the whole thing, right? And I will go and grab the other one and put it there right away. And the tip or trick was, this cannot sit there for another half an hour waiting for that valve cover to come. The manual says you should be putting it together pretty quickly. You have minutes, right? So have this valve cover prepared already for install on top of these two half moons, right? So I will go ahead, put the other one back to the filming. There are another certain spots I will be using it on this valve cover job, right? So I'm smoothing these surfaces right here, but also there are sharp edges where that FIPG needs to go. Let me show you with moving it, right? Do you see that sharp corner right here? In order to absolutely make sure the oil will be not leaking here, we are putting one corner, it's up here, right, and one corner down there. So that's where you will be putting little drop, right? Again, you don't want to squeeze it inside, but a little amount of that FIPG there to prevent any possible oil leaks, right? And only after all those details, right, everything is perfectly ready, I will be dropping in this valve. But before I will do that, the last tip or trick, it's a tip, right? Don't you ever skip replacing these washers. These are the one, if you look at them, it's really squished, the rubber part, right? If you compare it, it's way thinner, and that will be a huge mistake, because these are the ones pushing on that valve cover and on that gasket, right? I know somebody will try to skip it because they don't want to go off, right? You can't just grab it. You have to take a pliers, right? It's so hard and to take a pliers, grab the washer and take the tool. And if you was in a hurry, you might think, it's not so important. But it actually is really important to use the new ones. And maybe the last tip on this job, I'm not going to take my power tool, which I used to remove these 10mm bolts on this valve cover, right? I use that to make it faster. I'm not going to put it in the low torque setting and start banging these screws in. No way. I have to gradually, ideally in the crisscross pattern, right? I need to bring that valve cover slowly down. I don't want to twist it. I want the bolts get tightened in that, crisscross pattern, and slowly and gradually push on that valve cover and that new gasket. I even use, right, the 1/4 extension and small ratchet, because that gives me, right, by the hand, way better feel when I go around, way better feel of how much torque I have there. And now I have that valve cover securely installed, correctly installed, I would like to share something with you. I believe this owner bought this Tundra like half a year ago, and I met him only like 3 months ago, and I did his entire inspection for him, and we started taking care of this beautiful truck, right? It has that 2UZ FE V8 4.7 liter iForce, and what I want to show you is regarding him and you subscribers, you people who like to learn how to do your own maintenance. So he might not have a courage or tools or place to do these valve cover gaskets, and maybe he will do it in the future. But I mentioned this channel, right, and I said, hey, these are the prices, but some of the stuff you actually might do by yourself. And look, this is what he did. He said, hey, I will try to do, following the video, I will try to do the throttle cleaning, right? I explained him that, and he did it by himself. Today, removing all these parts for valve covers, I saw that, right? And I was like, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of you guys who try to do at least something which is within your means. You might have limitation with tools or whatever it is, but he tried and he did an absolutely great job. This throttle body, it's perfect to me, what I see, and I definitely, when he will be coming back, I will mention it to him. I'm very, very proud of him. Excellent, great job. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and good job to you guys who are trying your best to do the maintenance on your own vehicles. Thank you for watching, and be subscribed. I have way more coming your way soon. See ya.